headed off south. For Spirit, for more than half a year, it had been a long, dry haul. Then, at last, everything changed.
On Sol 157, we crossed over to these older Columbia Hill rocks, and it's a completely different geologic environment.
The weary Spirit team thought they'd finally reached the end of the rainbow. They named one rock Pot of Gold. It contained minerals and elements that were possible evidence of ancient water.
We knew from Pot of Gold that something was different out there. We started finding hematite and lots of sulfur. And then we find even more hematite and more sulfur and now goethite and more salt.
Once we got there, then it became clear that we moved to a very old environment in those old rocks where water existed either at the surface or very close to the surface and strongly modified those rocks.
Farther up, a rock named Clovis. First, a brush. Then, a deep rat hole of some 9 millimeters. Then study by the Mossbauer and APXS. Result, clear evidence of goethite.
These targets are really the turning point, and Clovis just because of the goethite. You cannot have goethite without having lots of alteration somewhere.
The science might have been golden, but the engineering was having problems. By now, Spirit had traveled 6 times farther than mission success.
Every day that we do a drive, we get data on the wheels and how much power that they're using. And each of the wheels uses about the same amount of power, but we started to notice that this right front wheel was using more power than the other 5. And this, as time was going on, over the course of several weeks, this was getting worse and worse, and it was getting worse at a faster rate.
What about backing up the hill and not dragging it? Does that still take some pressure off of that wheel? If we're going backwards and it's not a lead wheel,
it takes some, but not. It still has the pressure. Anytime you drive that wheel, it's a fleeting resource, but how fast it's depleting, we don't know.
This time, it was Spirit who was simulated in the sandbox. Mobility engineers locked the troublesome wheel and measured the drag. They realized Spirit used less power driving backwards. The rover reversed direction, but kept on climbing.
We are going uphill backwards, slowly inching our way backwards uphill. I think the Spirit rover will probably be driving backwards a lot from here on out.
Churning up the surface had an unexpected bonus.
Someone looked at one image and say, hey, see that soil looks a little bright, maybe we are here today, we could check it and see what's happening up there. And we did it. We just took the time to look at something that looked different. And, well, we know what happened next. It is the more salt we ever found on Mars.
The rocks seem to have been modified in a salty water environment. Those rocks are much older than the basalts. So we finally have found the kind of smoking gun evidence for water at or close to the surface on Gusev.
Spirit continued upwards. The scientists wanted more rocks, more evidence of water. The engineers wanted to get higher to capture more sunlight. As expected, the solar panels were getting covered with dust. Once again, Spirit got lucky. Her cameras captured images of dust devils. One must have come close enough to sweep the solar panels clean. Spirit's power level jumped back to as much as in the first days after landing. Still, she climbed, up to and past a rock named Larry's Lookout. When she turned around, the Gusev crater story came into focus. Looking back from an ancient rock named Methuselah, the scientist recognized a set of tilted layers stretching clear across the nearby valley. Spirit's long road trip had been successful.
What we are starting to put together with the history of Gusev now is that it seems that the volcanic history and the water history are intermixed together. And what best combination can you find if you're talking about habitability, about having at the same time or following each other very closely, volcanism and water. This is exactly what you want. This is the right recipe.
And both the salty water at Gusev and the salty water at Meridiani increase the chance of the development and evolution of life. That has increased the habitability potential dramatically.
Are we alone in the universe? Is there life beyond Earth? Now we have a way to begin answering such questions. Modern science replaces speculation, hunches, belief with hypotheses, experiment, and evidence. By mid-2005, both rovers had outlived their nominal lifetimes more than 6 times over. But perhaps their achievements were best expressed by Steve Squyres on the day when Spirit and Opportunity passed their warranty date of 90 sols on Mars.
You know, we did it. I mean, we did 600 meters, we did all the panoramas we were supposed to do, 2 rovers, 90 sols, 8 locations, all of those mission success criteria, and yet, nowhere did it say that the MER project shall make scientific discoveries of historic importance. Nowhere did it say that the MER project shall forge a partnership between scientists and engineers, where the scientists are always thinking engineering, and the engineers are always thinking science, and we're all pulling in the same direction at once. Nowhere did it say that the MER project